Hey everybody, Tim Miller from the Bulwark here with managing editor Sam Stein. We have breaking news. FBI Director Kash Patel says that he has arrested a judge in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on the charge of obstructing the arrest of an immigrant, an FBI operation to arrest an immigrant, I guess, in her court. I'm going to read the tweet from Kash Patel that he since deleted.
Right.
So we'll get into that in a second. But he wrote, just now, the FBI arrested Judge Hannah Dugan out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on charges of obstruction after evidence of Judge Dugan obstructing an immigration arrest operation. We believe Judge Dugan intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse, Eduardo Ruiz, allowing the subject, an illegal alien, to evade arrest. Thankfully, our agents chased down the perp on foot, and he's been in custody since, but the judge's obstruction created increased danger to the public. We'll have more to share soon. So he tweeted that, then deleted it. It was unclear why, but I guess, Sam, now we have confirmation that this judge has been arrested.
Yeah, we were all sort of confused about why he deleted it, which led to us wondering if it was real. Normally, you would have like sort of a coordinated announcement around this stuff. It's all very bizarre. But then Milwaukee Journal Sentinel has a piece that says that the arrest was confirmed by a local U.S. Marshal Services. Actually, sorry, D.C. U.S. Marshal Services spokesperson for them said that this judge was arrested at 8 a.m. at the Milwaukee County Courthouse and is in federal custody. So just let that sink in. We have arrested a local judge and detained her in federal custody over immigration proceedings. I can't recall anything remotely like this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, we're going to have to wait for more details to emerge before you get into total speculation mode. But just like at the top level, like arresting a judge over not like some other private crime, but of their
Right.
of their job, like of judging, like yeah. Something that is part of their work.
Taking foreign bribes. Yeah, I can see that. Right.
Yeah, sure. A judge that is also happens to be a murderer or whatever. Okay, right.
Yeah,
But this is a judge like in the process of we presume judging work. So that is noteworthy.
The arrest is I think the allegation specifically is they tipped off a person who was going to be arrested by ICE and tried to let this alleged target of the ICE officials evade arrest. And so it's an obstruction charge. Now, this is again, maybe a little bit beyond my expertise, sending the FBI after a judge over this, as opposed to sort of trying to adjudicate in less dramatic fashion, is a choice, right? Like that's a choice.
Well, here's another choice: the way that you announce it. I mean, like, I guess he's deleted it, but like that we have the FBI director, right? Like this wasn't, Bob Mueller wasn't out there being like, we nabbed him, like we nabbed him. Like, the idea of doing this as ostentatiously as possible is also a choice, and it is, and I think that is what we can speak on, with full information right now, because what they're trying to do here is intimidate people. They're trying to intimidate officers of the court. They've already gone after lawyers representing undocumented migrants. And so they are trying to intimidate anybody that wants to give any aid and comfort to people that are in this country, not illegally. And and this is like a huge shot across the bow. An effort, right? And like that is what that is true. This is like obvious.
And I think you have to put it in the context of what's been happening for like the past couple of weeks, which is the administration's had a series, not just a series, like a torrent of judicial decisions handed down against them, many of which have restricted what they want to do on immigration. And they've responded by ratcheting up the rhetoric by saying, this is a judicial coup. These are liberal justices issuing nationwide injunctions. They've tried to, challenge the idea of being able to do nationwide injunctions. And they've basically been trying to fight this through more or less PR and legal battles. And now this, to me, and it's being presented this way too, is them responding to the justice system by actually flexing, real...
the power of their Department of Justice.
Right, exactly. And so now you've pitted two parts of the justice system against each other.
Yep. Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. And I also think this is notable in the context of the Trump Time interview that came out this morning, because Trump was pressed by Time magazine about the way that he's defied the Supreme Court. And it's interesting that Trump's rhetoric on this is like he is almost trying to ratchet it down. Like he is hiding behind lawyers, right? Like, and I think Trump thinks that the safe play here is to be like, I'm just whatever my lawyers tell me. If Kash Patel, if Pam Bondi says this judge needs to be arrested, okay, nothing I can do. I'm not like my hands are clean on this one. If the Supreme Court says I got to bring back Abrego Garcia, but Pam Bondi and my lawyers say that they interpret it differently. Well, okay, I got nothing, right? And so this is like the game Trump plays, where they can intimidate, they can act extrajudicially, and he is trying to like avoid like personal accountability for it by saying, okay, this is what those guys are doing. This is over there.
Right. He gets a little bit of a shield, right? Yep. There he's human shield. And so if this blows up in his face or in the administration's face, he'll just say, well, Kash decided, Kash just went ahead and did it. And, who am I?
I thought you guys didn't want me to interfere with the DOJ. I thought you guys didn't want me to politicize. It's like I'm instructing you to investigate Chris Krebs in this case on one hand, but then on the other hand, when you guys go out and do something, I'm like, oh, I can't do anything about that. Like this is the way that he's trying to have it. I think it's important just to like be blunt about that, so that to kind of expose like how they're going to try to have it both ways.
How does this play out from here, right? Like, obviously, this judge is going to challenge her arrest. I mean, she's not going to like just say, "Yeah, you got me." No, and the secondary question is, how does the other courts react to this, right? Like, there is sort of a fraternalism around the judicial system.
Yeah.
Judges should, in theory, be appalled that one of their own was arrested. But I am curious. And also, how does it go for more adjudication of local immigration cases, right? Like, if you're a local judge and you're trying to figure out what the right thing to do is around the adjudication of this stuff, obviously they want you to think, well, the FBI might come knocking on your door if you go in the wrong direction.
Here's what I think. I think that the judicial system will fight back, and that we'll see a lot of pushback from judges. And but here's what I also think will happen.
It's like a million different fires right now.
There's going to be a chilling effect, though. Yeah. There's going to be a chilling effect, man. There are great CERT people out there who work for nonprofits, who advocate for migrant groups, who will not be cowed by this. But there will be people that look at this and are just like, ugh. I don't want to deal with the Trump DOJ. If I'm housing an illegal migrant, if I'm doing something like, I do think that that is where they'll be successful. I think they will eventually lose. Again, we don't know the details of this particular case, but like they will continue to lose these broader fights in the courts where they're breaking the Constitution. Right. But I think that they will succeed in the chilling effect, and that's really, it's really bleak.
It's somewhat related here, but the whole immigration thing, there's like two parallel storylines going on. And I think you hit on it. One is like the big national headline stories: Abrego Garcia, Andrew, the barber, and those are taking all 95% of the auction. But then the 5% is what's happening locally, the stuff like in Milwaukee, and that's actually more consequential in a way, because this is where you're starting to see some really kind of nasty stuff. And so someone passed on our tips line, which, by the way, use the tips line. It's great. What is it called?
Thebulwark.com/tips.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So there's a local story out of Dayton about a barber. This guy who has been here for, decades, Honduran native. He's been here illegally, but forever. He's had, sort of an understanding with local officials where he would wear a monitoring bracelet as his asylum process went through the system. And this is so messed up, but they basically said to him, this is how it reads. It says, ICE called Rodriguez, the guy, and told him he didn't need his bracelet anymore, and he should come to the Blue Ash, Kentucky office to have it removed. What officials didn't tell him is that he would be arrested and sent to the Butler County, Ohio jail, where he's being held currently. Jail records show. This is the stuff. It's this local stuff. I know, it's horrible. It's this local stuff that's happening all over the country. Now we're seeing it here and there. And then, of course, in Milwaukee, now you have this confrontation, this arrest of a judge. This is what I think is like the real story. And I think this is also what's contributing to a lot of the backlash against Trump, is that people don't like this shit. I don't think normal Americans are like, yeah, let's have a judge get arrested by the FBI because they might have like tipped off, someone here illegally. I think that stuff is the stuff that people recoil at.
All right, much more on this to come. Our colleague Adrian Carrasquillo, who writes our immigration newsletter, which you guys should check out at thebulwark.com, will do more reporting on this. Send us tips if you guys tips, thebulwark.com/tips, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And we'll be talking to y'all soon. Thanks, Sam. See you, everybody.
Thanks.
Hey, YouTube fam, if you want to support the Bulwark, the best way to do it is by becoming a YouTube Bulwark Plus member. The Bulwark is truly independent. We have no corporate overlords. We're not settling any dumb lawsuits with Trump. By joining, you help support our work, and you can get a bunch of perks right here on this platform. Ad-free content, bonus videos, live streams, and some emojis of me, which I guess some people want. So come join, come hang out, become a Bulwark YouTube Plus member, and I'll be seeing you in the comments. So behave.